If you're a fan of the Rebels animated series or the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney+, I got a treat for you. Greetings, knowledge seekers. My name is Prion Joni, and you're watching Lightsaber Culture. Today, I'm going to be showing you this Grand Inquisitor double-bladed lightsaber from Neosabers. I want to thank Neosabers for sending this so I can show it to you guys. In this video, we're going to take a close look at this crazy-looking hilt design, the features and the electronics, and see how it is to spin. It's a lot of chrome, so always gotta wipe this down. Neosabers has this lightsaber in 3 flavors, starting with the lowest tier, the baselit RGB for $629. This comes with 2 hollow component-free blade tubes with a tri-cree RGB on each end of the hilt. Xenopixel version 3 is for $689. This is the entry-level to mid-grade pixel electronics with Bluetooth control, which is the one I have over here. It's pixels, so the LEDs are in the hilt. And lastly, the top-tier Profi 2.2 is for $779, which is an advanced pixel blade system with custom-designed blade styles for each sound font that includes realistic blade flicker and reactive swing illumination. Again, this is the $689 version with the Xenopixel version 3. You can tell this is the Xenopixel version 3 because of the Imperial-like insignia design on the backlight of the button. If you want to save 10% off on this or any saber from Neosabers, use my affiliate discount code, which I'll leave a link below. While we don't know for sure if the in-universe saber has an activation button in this area, I appreciate the fact that they designed this with a button with a backlight indicator, which makes navigating with one button much easier. Sometimes when there's no backlight, you have to guess how many times it blinks. Same goes for the external access USB Type-C charging port right above the button. No need to unscrew the grip or pommel, wherever that is. This is a dual blade system, but it's controlled by one single board. It's not 2 separate boards that form one hilt like Darth Maul's. It's not that long of a lightsaber. It's 15 inches from emitter to emitter, which is just slightly longer than a standard lightsaber hilt. And the radius of the ring, when closed, is about 6.5 inches tip to tip. With the ring open, which you can just fold it right out, the diameter is about 10 inches. How's the radius 6 if the diameter is 10? Well, when it's closed, I was measuring it from the edge of the ring to the edge of the grip rather than the center, so technically it wasn't really the radius. Sorry, math OCD. Overall, not that large of an Inquisitor lightsaber. Also, unlike in universe, this saber is not capable of spinning the emitters along the ring. If you look on YouTube, there are several prototypes in development, so hopefully we can get one here when a working model is completed. Now, like I said, this lightsaber has a lot of chrome and gloss all around, so you know what that means, a lot of fingerprints. But overall, the aesthetic spells dark side, as well as a fresh and newly forged lightsaber because there's no weathering. The ridges on the center of the hilt make for a comfortable grip. There's no sharp edges, so it won't hurt your hand when you're using it. Although I would be a little careful by these pieces since they stick out a little bit and it could hit your wrist if the rings are closed. So when you're spinning, you could hit it right here or right on your hand this way. So just be a little careful. Now, like I did, you can open the ring simply by folding it outwards. On one side, the outer part of the ring is polished, while the inner part is gloss black. On the other side, it's just all glossy black. All the parts on the saber are solid, nothing feels loose or is clanking around. As for the weight, let's get out our scale. It's about 1.883 pounds. There is a little weight to it because it is a lot of metal, but it's far less than a Cal Kestis lightsaber. But because of the shape and having a little mass, I expect it to be slow when I spin it, especially with the limited grip area where it can only fit one hand. Or, I guess you could fit 2, but that wouldn't be very comfortable. Now let's check out what's included in the box. As you would expect, the box is larger than normal. Comes with the Neosabers product manual. I've had some people bring this up that their product manual is very vague to the lightsaber they bought. Because lightsaber companies have so many different hilts, the product manual isn't for your specific hilt, it's for your specific electronics board. This one covers the Xeno version 3 RGB for the baselit saber, as well as Xenopixel version 3. You have your USB-A to Type-C charging cable. Remember, use no higher than a 5-volt USB charger or you could fry your board. An Allen key and screws, you'll be using a total of 6 set screws. A heavy-duty hex screwdriver. 2 Neopixel active blade plugs for the 2 emitters when you don't have the blades on. The tip kind of reminds me of a 1/4-inch headphone plug. A USB-A micro SD card reader. An acrylic lightsaber stand. A Neosabers decal. And finally, not 1, but 2 36-inch Neopixel blades. I do wish it came with white gloves because of all the chrome on it, but this is everything that comes in the box. Now, while we're inside, I'm just gonna put in 1 blade for now since we're kind of limited in space down here. We'll put one of the blade plugs on the other side. Like I was saying earlier, there's an emitter on both ends and they're held by 3 set screws. I found a trick that if you tighten the center one first, followed by the other ones, you'll eliminate any wobble because it'll press the blade along the inside of the emitter, giving it more surface for friction. All right, let's turn this on. So one of the things you'll notice here is there are window openings on the side of the hilt that match the blade color. The in-universe version does in fact have this, showing the plasma glow internally on the hilt. It's not diffused, so you do see the individual LEDs right here on the side. Now, if you want to see how the Bluetooth control works, I have the video where I first reviewed the Xenopixel 3 board where I installed in an existing hilt I had. You can control and change your saber settings using an app on your mobile device. You can watch that video right here. But to summarize what you can do with the saber, the Pixel blade is dual grade polycarbonate. The blades themselves can be used for stunt work. The saber itself has your standard Xenopixel gesture controls, which include twisting to ignite, as well as retract the blade illumination. You can get infinite color options on the blade, as all Neopixel lightsabers typically let you do. I realized I forgot to put the blade plug on. That blade plug, by the way, looks really, really cool. It has flash on clash, smooth swing. I'm gonna put this back on red so I can show you blaster deflect. Oh, that is a cool looking blaster deflect. And there's a variety of different character and custom sound fonts, which you can change and customize using the removable micro SD card. Xenopixel is known for different ignition modes like Hunter Ignition, Standard, Broken Ignition, Photon Ignition, Stack Ignition, Warp Ignition, Phaser Ignition, and lastly, Scavenger Ignition. Very similar to the standard, but has a little bit of a more unique character to the ignition. You can also change the blade styles. Here's Flash Blade. I don't know if you can see, but it's really, really strobing. Maybe it's more obvious when I swing it. Fireblade. Kind of has that Kylo Ren look to it. Steady. Just a solid color. Unstable. Oh, that looks sick. It's basically strobing between white and red. Rainbow Blade. Look at that. And a variation of the Rainbow Blade. Candy Blade. Crack Blade. Basically, it's flashing white along the blade randomly. Pulse. And this is what I had earlier. There's just a really, really subtle pulse to it. Not as good as the Profi ones, but you know, just enough to show that it's alive. Each change you do to the blade styles and the ignitions will save to each individual sound font. But all the available blade styles and ignition modes are the same for every sound font. Now the Pixel connector inside the hilt is illuminated, but it does come with the Neopixel blade plug, which looks really cool. Once again, if you're looking for a more advanced custom blade style, opt for the Profi soundboard. But for most folks, the Xenopixel gets the job done with ample features while including Bluetooth control. Now, before we take this outside, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon and like this video. This really helps out this channel, allowing me to bring you more lightsaber content. Now let's take this for a spin. Alright, honest feedback. It's a really heavy lightsaber to spin, whether it's single blade or as a staff. It's definitely going to be a display piece for me. Now I'm going to try this with shorter 26-inch blades, which is 10 inches less on each blade in a video coming up. But as a single hilt, the ring and the two ring guards at the end really limit your movement. With both blades on it as a staff and the rings are open, the short hilt is hard to double grip, so figure eights can only be done with one hand. And with the 36-inch blades, that means you really have to do it wide, and there's more mass you have to deal with. But if there's one thing about having this saber out for a spin, it looks really cool when you ignite it, especially behind you. As far as durability, it's a pretty solid saber for basic saber dual play and spinning, but it's definitely not the fastest one to spin or strike with. Now, if you're new to lightsabers and you're looking for a lighter saber because you're not ready to drop $689 on an exotic Grand Inquisitor, there are two affordable Neopixel lightsabers I found on Amazon that are under $100 each, which you can try out and get your feet wet with lightsaber culture. Watch that now over here, or the slightly better one over here.